When writing programs, many things can go wrong. Our programs may encounter an error and terminate. Usually, these errors happen because of programmers' mistakes, or bad data that we get from the user, or resources not being available. For example, we might need to open a file, but if that file doesn't exist, our program is going to crash. It's your job as a programmer to prevent your application from crashing in these kind of situations. Instead, we want to display a proper error message to the user, like, hey, this file doesn't exist. So let's take a look at a few examples. I'm going to define a list of numbers with two items and then print the third item. When we run this program, we get this error, index error. This happened in this file, app.py, on line 2, and here's the statement that generated this error. In programming, we refer to this kind of error as an exception. An exception is a kind of error that terminates the execution of a program. More specifically, we say this line, this statement, through an exception. And this is an example of an exception that was thrown because of the programmer's mistake. Here's another example. Earlier you learned about the input function to get input from the user. Let's say we ask for the user's age. You know that this function returns a string, so we need to convert it to an integer and then store it here. Now, instead of running this using the code runner, let's go to the terminal and run Python or Python 3 app.py. The reason I didn't run this using code runner is that by default, code runner runs our programs in the output window, which is read-only, so we cannot enter data. So here in the terminal, let's run this program. If we enter a non-numeric value like a, our program crashes. In this example, we got an exception of type value error. So, as I told you before, it's your job as a programmer to handle these exceptions and prevent your application from crashing. And that's what I'm going to show you next.